Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Rapid Pixel Racing. My name is JB, and I'll be taking you through tonight's proceedings. And I've just realised we have no audio whatsoever currently in the pit lane. Oh, this is going to be a fun one. But yes, it has been a week, and we are back here in Rapid Pixel World, and we're going to be spending the next few hours watching racing cars drive around, though in this half-an-hour practice session without any sound. Let's see if we can get that sound back somehow. Not sure how you would get it back. Oh, there it is. So we have sound again. Fantastic. So how are we? But before we do anything else, let's have a look at the championship standings after last week in Silverstone. Saturn is still in P1 by now a larger margin to JR in P2. Then AGSP is in P3. Ahead of that guy, Alex, who's in P4. Scott is in P5, and Chubb, with his new light-up rig, is in P6. Chubb is in P7. No, Chubb's the one with the light-up rig, not Scott. Johnny Stokes is in P7, sorry, I can read. And John Ford is in P9. Asif is in P9. John is in P8, and Asif is in P9. I've just woken up, if you can't tell. Wilson is in P10. Zeron is in P11, F1 Legend is in P12, and Ezres is in P13. James is in P14, Mark, who is not attending tonight, is in P15. Booker Bronzo, looking for a better race, is in P16, ahead of John Travolta, who's in P17, and Wilhelm is in P18. A couple of new drivers here tonight, as well as our normal fun here in Rapid Pixel. If you don't know me, my name is JB. And we're going to have some fun tonight in the chat, as always, to look at such a stunning race. We're here at Hockenheim for the insert number of race here. So, I wonder what this race is going to throw up. Well, I've been informed by our friend JR that it's, I've gone for JR this time, rather than just calling him by his name, which is wrong. Booker Bronson, the fastest man on track right now, as we're looking at AJ. How's it going? I'm alright. I've been informed by JR, Jack, who's actually in the chat with us, who has just informed us that it is, in fact, going to be a fully wet race here in Hockenheim, which just made everything so much more interesting for the drivers here. Obviously, I believe qualifying might be dry, as Zeron goes faster, the Dutch driver looking for a good result after a disappointing turn in Silverstone last week. As normal, we're going to take it pretty relaxed as we ramp up towards qualifying. 18 drivers on track, including Zeron, AJ, Booker, F1 Legend, Johnny Stokes, Scott, Asif, that guy Alex, Carl Froud, who's one of the new drivers. Let's have a look at Carl in the pink and white car, following AJ, so learning the lines of AJ. Then we have Ford, James, Travolta, Jake Fletcher, who's also a new driver in the league in the very almost Razor Technologies car, in the black and the green, can't remember the name, colours now. Black and green car with the Yas Marina helmet on there. Then there's obviously JR, who's always in his nice grey and red car. Obviously we have our boy Wilson, who we wish had done a better job at the end of Silverstone, but all things considered, he did a great job. Nonetheless, off the back of a fantastic British Grand Prix, we're heading here to Germany. So this is Hockenheim, a track which has provided great racing in the past, and obviously gave us the modern classic that was 2019 here at Hockenheim, where Mercedes fumbled, Charles Leclerc crashed, and Max Verstappen came out victorious. If you haven't seen that race, then why the hell are you watching esports if you haven't seen F1? So, as normal, we'll take it nice and relaxed at the start of the stream. It's Ezra in the blue car. I think it's this track is rather difficult. Let's see if we can get someone who's coming to turn one now. Okay, let's follow with Booker, because Booker's going to show us some of the really difficult points of the track. Through here, if you stick the wheel on the AstroTurfy round, you've got to be careful really in the wet up here, heading towards the skid plane there where Charles Leclerc and so many others binned it in the wall. Through the final corner, got to lift up a little bit there as you go towards the DRS line. DRS open now. As Booker Ronco takes this across towards turn one. It's very difficult. Flick right, there it is. Very well done to Booker into the second DRS zone. and heading into the braking zone at turn 3. Lock up there on the front right and onto. So you can lose so much time here, but you can also gain at DRS open as Booker is going to hit the DRS line there, passing Travolta's car on the inside. He's going to get a little bit closer to Travolta, it will not. So that was fun. See drivers now pulling in the 29 car, braking hard, and that's Booker. I still love that. It looks like the Carlin livery, I love it. Where's JR? Here's JR. See the British driver can get another 15. Got a couple of new changes. I think we'll see some changes. Fletcher pops it up into P2 in his debut for Rapid Picture Racing. And Lattice goes fast as a 1:14.004. What a line there for the 25 car, not the 15 car. 15 is his teammate. Here's Scott in the number 12 car, the green, black, and pink car. So not the same as what we saw Fletcher running with the green and black car. There's that pink on this one, so he's held in part. It's almost like IndyCar drivers, how they have a livery for each driver. That's really fun. Oh, and Booker's retired. Where's that? Turn 1. It's a crash where Valtteri Bottas spinned it. I don't think we'll have a driver there. Oh, we do have a. Oh, I just missed it. Do we have Scott? No, we don't have a driver there at the moment in time to catch the. The car has been removed and Booker has been relegated back to the pit lane for a rather 22 minutes. He's going to be ruling that if he uses the practice. This is the Scott going wide there at turn 1, able to keep going there. Green flag waving by the Marshall. Well done, Mr. Marshall. AJ Zapia, the 94 car, powering up. Yellow star on the helmet, looking very comfortable. We hope everyone's doing well. Obviously, in these trying times, we want everyone to feel better. These 26. While racing is banned, I say stopped in real life due to coronavirus and everything in between, and even a 12-hour shift for myself. We're here at Rapid Picture Racing to see what we can do, see if we can entertain everyone, and see if everyone has some fun, especially with a wet race inbound. Here's Johnny Stokes, though, coming through the final couple of corners in the number 9 car. Looking very comfortable in his number 9 car. It's up 2 and 3, lights up the yellow flag. You can't see them as of yet. What can Johnny do? Johnny Stokes sounds like a football player, which is. I think I said that last week. DRS opening with Stokes comes across the line, start and invalidated lap time. Now here's Chubb in the number 59 car. If you don't know, Chubb's got a new rig. And Chubb's new rig is covered in lights, so you never know, the lights might help him go faster this week. I'm never going to stop insulting. I'm never going to stop mentioning it. I'm not really insulting because he's got a rig and I haven't. But we can see what goes on. Chubb 2, Lattice goes fastest, or latest, sorry. JR goes faster again at 1:13.5, and Chubb 1:14.9 for the initial lap time, but not on the board as of yet. Is Asif in the all-white car? Love this car. He's going to pop up to P1 at 1:13.5, looking very comfortable. Is the number? Ooh, is the insert number here? I can't see it. It's a black blob. What is it? 44? 14 car. Go for it, this Jeffrey. Yeah, always go for it. It's practice stuff, so don't totally. Debutant tonight in the white and pink is Carl, the number 19 car. I believe he's sharing the number, so I don't know if he's able to keep that number or not, due to other drivers maybe have it. I'm not sure. I'm going to make another coffee on this. So what can Carl do? Very comfortable there as he comes through. A little bit slow on the power there. It's DRS opening now on the pink car. Number 19 crossing the line with the roof to slow. No, not an improvement on that side. First slow in fact. They must have bailed out of the lap halfway through. Here's James. Number 21. I like that car a lot. That's very nice. Some of these liveries are fantastic. So much better than what I would like. Slow car ahead. And that looks to be, it's Scotty. So Scotty the dog getting well out of the way. And the number 25 of JR is trying to get closer to pass James, but Medici, NDCCIV. I'm going to hit with James. I'm not going to push it. James isn't going to let him through at all. The man with the almost colour coordinated helmet to his car. Following Carl though, it's interesting to see whether Carl's going to let them through or not, whether Carl's going to fast lap as well. Interesting how these three cars do, because they're all on quick lap times right now. Carl is getting swallowed up though by James, and James is going to be complaining, why are you in my way? All the way through practice here, 18 minutes left in practice. Oh, and Carl's halfway, he's at a half slide, and he's okay though. He's going to be slow though, off the outtake, and that's going to really help out. But you see JR from the pit lane, DRS opening for James. And so he's going to pop it a little bit slower than last lap time. That probably down to having to. Oh, Carl's round! And there's almost contact. Where's Carl? Carl is in the middle of the track. He's going to spin round. Not get disqualified. He's going to be a slow moving car at turn 1, but he's okay. He's got back moving. Oh, that was close. That could have ended in tears. And James will be clutching every bit of him going, every still attached? Good. Let's go to Saturn, championship leader in the 83. He's on a slow lap right now, but I wonder how he's feeling going into this race here at Hockenheim. Obviously, a fully wet race is just something that drivers won't be expecting and won't be wanting almost. A fully wet race isn't what they all want. That guy Alex popping in a 120.5 to be the back of the grid. Saturn struggling on braking there into the hairpin. Let's have a look at Alex in the 15. That guy Alex pounding on the times if he tries to improve on the 120. Should be easily done. There's a good few seconds with the Booker Bronco. Unfortunately, he's going to be the back of the grid, back of practice due to the crash. Shouldn't be long now. 16 minutes left of practice here in Hockenheim, home of the Mercedes German Grand Prix. Well, it was Mercedes, now it's just a German Grand Prix, and now it doesn't even exist anymore on the calendar. Then again, no Formula 1 races exist on the calendar anymore. Oh, big mistake for Alex. Oh, he's caught that well. I could have ended into the barrier. Has Mike been working hard on his handspring? I wouldn't know. I'd like to say, well, I think all the drivers should be sitting well in the current conditions, but Big Mike, let's have a look at him right now. I saw his teammate there just seesawing the car heavily through the fast end of start of sector 3. What can Wilson get up to? He's 2 seconds down his lap time though. I believe we'll see him enter pit lane in just a moment's time. Ooh, lock up there for the 83 car, really struggling. I believe it's 83. Might not be 83. Can I get a different camera angle, please, game? Any camera angle? Thank you. No, you're right, he's a 92 car. There's a slow moving car, that's Asif pulling way off the racing line. And pick Asif out in the crowd of anything. Where is he? Asif. P1 currently on an outlap. So a slow start. I'm not sure why he would have done that if he was starting an outlap unless he's doing 2. Search me. You know what? Search me with that one. Some of the drivers going very close together at the start finish straight. Here's Travolta, number 21. Car reminds me heavily of the Arden in Formula 2. I think any red car now reminds me of an Arden that isn't a Ferrari. So we have 221s on track today. There's number 19 of Ford. Our Lord and Master, Mr. Ford, is trailing a car behind him. That's one of the new boys. Keep an eye. The 21 car of, I believe that's Carl. No, not Carl, sorry. Fletcher. Fletcher doing an overtaking move as if it's a race. It is obviously just practice, and I think Ford sort of just demonstrating that by covering the inside just a little bit there. Do keep an eye on this, because this could turn nasty. Sector 3, yellow flags. Sector 2, yellow flags, do apologise. I mean, it's not probably going too deep at the hairpin. Let's find out where Fletcher is. Currently P4 is Fletcher. A little bit of lag coming off the car. There is a car off by the gravel, that's Carl. Carl Frown's in the gravel right now. DRS is going to open on Fletcher's car. If he goes out way wide now, he's going to lose a lot of time before on the start. Straight there. But it's okay. Remember, only practice here. Let's have a look at the tyres. A few images of how far people are going. Mike told me he's been working on his hand strength. Oh, good boy. Drivers are really going for it on this practice lap. It's like they're going for it as if it's a full qualifying session or something. Fletcher wanted to be careful. There's big boss of leavers. Travolta running wide off track. He's going to have to be aware that there are fast moving cars coming back towards him soon. Travolta bailing off the track to get out of the way for these guys. I don't like doing that. I mean, then again, I'm just a guy that spends most of my time around racing cars. I see real racing cars. I'd rather than do that in real life. The 2 and 3 yellow flags, that'd be Travolta. Travolta's in trouble, I think, by the looks of it. Let's have a look at him. Yeah, he's going very slowly in the red and black car. Powering back up. Gotta be careful though, as there are cars coming at him. Who's winning? No one's winning, as we are currently in practice right now. The current fastest time is Asif Jana in a 1:13.502, ahead of JR, who is a 1:13.564. So no one's winning as of yet. We've still got qualifying to go before we head to a fully wet race here in Hockenheim. Who was I looking at? Carl's back in pit lane. AJ's done 11 laps on his tyres, so pushing the car pretty long to see what he can do. Obviously, these tyres will not relate to how it is in the race. There's major differences down to the weather comparison between the full extreme wet tyres probably coming out tonight here in rapid pixel racing. What can we look at from standing? His Ford was on the softs, so he's going for 5 lap times right now, so he should be further up the field there. I love that he's got a little bit of gold in his car as well to match his helmet, that all of his sponsors in the car are actually gold rather than white. Just that little bit darker stand out. Whoa, him clip the gravel with his rear tyre, he able to catch the car, he's going to go into P9. Just shows the competitiveness of the field, with some of them being on medium tyres and still being faster. Let's go with best lap times. Best lap time currently was set on the softs at 1:15.2. 1:13.2. It's Johnny Stokes, not the football player. If there was a football player, I don't know football, so I wouldn't know. Asif is dangerously close to Mike. And there's JR go even faster, 1:13.3 on the medium, sort of a monstrous lap time. Be pushing the 1:12 when it comes to the qualifying runs. Remember, still Q1 to go through before we start thinking about who's going to have pole position here in the race. Wilson heading back into pit lane with 92 car. Tricky pit lane, as Lewis Hamilton has shown a few years in a row. And braking hard in there we go. Not as tricky as sort of say. I believe it's 40 miles an hour here. Travolta going faster, trying to improve on his 1:17 time. So, oh, Travolta into the wall, and that's damage to the red and black car. He's going to pull back out. No car in the way, luckily. I just looked up from looking at my phone, and crikey, what a moment to come back onto comms. So Travolta just going a little bit wide at turn 1 and ended up into the wall. There seems to be no damage due to the fact that we are on reduced damage here in Rapid Pixel. I still vote for simulation. Let's have a look at one of our faster guys. Where is Fletcher? New boy on the field. What's that? Ooh, that's a bit harsh there, Paul. I mean, I'm still at work, even though everyone's self-isolating at my husband's hot round. Factory going fastest, a 1:13.0 on the medium compounded tyres. I think everyone should be able to do whatever they like. We are all obviously trying to stay safe with the coronavirus coming in and really messing up the world a lot. I mean, I was really looking forward to racing this year. Not myself, just watching racing this year and being able to go off Martining when I wasn't at work. But unfortunately, that is not going to happen right now due to everything being shut down. A slow-moving car there of Stokes being passed by his teammate, Scotty. Scotty does have the grip today in the hard compound tyres there. Wish everyone well though. No side isolation, from what I can tell with the field. It seems everyone be very happy. Oh, cutting in the corner there. Maybe Scotty will get told off by the stewards. So Ezra goes like to P6, Saturn Championship leader, currently in P5, the Sunburst car. I am very looking forward to this. It's going to be interesting to see what all these drivers can pull out. Obviously, F1 legend, we haven't seen him on track yet. The final driver, the 18th driver, hasn't come back out on track at all. He's been sat in the pit lane for a while now. So, potentially a rig problem, or potentially just too confident qualifying. He's troubled with his new light up rig. Showing off as much as he can. I wonder if his lights are the same colour of his car, black and red. Physical. What can Chubb get up to though as he looks to get past Ezra? Thank you, Chris. Oh, Chubb's going a little bit up. A little bit off the track, he's going to go off again. Thank you, Chris. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Always want to put everything on. Everyone to entertain. So here's Carl again. He's going 2 seconds slower in sector 1. I'm going to make another coffee actually. I drink coffee way too quickly when I'm watching racing. I think I've got enough water in the kettle to make another one. I might make 2. No, because one will be colder than the other at the end. You know, my thoughts as a commentator thinking coffee, burgers, coffee, racing cars, coffee, let's not base my foot on a car battery like I just have. Ow. You have to be stuck looking at a car for a bit, so I'm going to now wind up a car battery which I've just found. Well, it's not a car battery, it's like a jump starter. There we go, that's better. So Carl looking very comfortable in his car. The pink and white car. The number 19 car bailing back in. Obviously, I think so. Oh, he's hit the wall in pit lane. No, that's not going to do him no favours because he found the limit in pit lane and then over-revved the car coming in. Tell you what, his team would be saying, don't do that, you'll break the engine and the gearbox and everything in between. As you look at Chubb coming through turn 1, turn 1 is getting more and more difficult as it comes on. We have a yellow flag in section 1 though. I think it's a slow moving car. Slow moving car gets back up to speed. As we look at Chubb, the number 59 car. So best lap times currently on the medium compounded tyres for 1, 2 and 3. Fastest soft running time was Atif Jana in a 1:13.502. So the times are there, the times are ticking away. This is going to be fantastic come the qualifying session. Who is going to get knocked out and who is going to be here to stay? As we look of a number black socks car. God, look at the speed and the aggression on the 14. He really just wants to push on as quickly as he can. So Atif. Moment as he just powers out the corner. DRS is going to flip open now. It's going to be slightly slower than it by 2 seconds, slower than his last time. Is Big Mike 92 car. Very comfortable that he gets the car dialed in. in the final moments, almost time to start ticking away towards qualifying time. All you want now is to start thinking about qualifying here. I'm talking about microphone. I want to be able to move around. It's the joy of having a wireless headset, but also the mic slightly, it's slightly worse. So you lose a bit as Ford's popped it up into P6. Very comfortable as Ford is today. He's looking for a good result after a slightly disappointing one in Silverstone, but still, anyway, as much as a finish is a finish. Well, you want Travolta, he's looking to be up there as well in the red car. No, MP Motorsports car, that's what that reminds me of. If you dyed it orange, so in certain lights, you probably look more like an MP, yeah. It's getting bored of that. That's a bit shameful. So keep an eye on Fletcher. He is currently looking to be the fastest man on the track. Hello, Brad. How are you doing? How are you doing, sir? Keeping an eye on Fletcher as he wants to improve on his time. Remember, debutant tonight. Can he upset the field by taking a debutant win in rapid pit stop? So the Xbox style car coming through the final corner. DRS is going to flick straight. There you go, good. Across the line. It's going to be fast. It's a 1:12.6. What a monumental lap time there on the medium compounded tyres. I didn't think that was possible. Where's ATP? What can AJ respond to? Slightly faster in the final sector as he heads towards the line. DRS open as Alex crosses the line. It's going to be P12, slightly faster on the medium compound tyres. The speed is there for these drivers. 2 and 3 yellow flags. Driver off the track. Was not Travolta. Travolta's looking very quick in his soft clad car. It's the 14-year-old winning again. We're only in practice. Only for a minute. Only for a minute more of it. Whoa, Travolta, big power slide out the hairpin. So a little bit tail happy on power as he catches it. Obviously, only in practice now, so times will drop into qualifying. Only a minute left though. So take the 3 yellow flags. We get ready. It's going to be a packed Q1 here at Hockenheim as the clouds start to come in. This one-day format will really show off what people can get up to. Last few moments of practice one here, or free practice, sorry, here at Hockenheim. Travolta's going to improve on his lap time by a bit. He's not going to be up on his lap time. Unfortunately, Carl Brown with an engine problem. A severe engine problem there in the number 19. Again, I assume that him and... oh, he's off the track. Is he going into the wall? He's caught the car. And he is into the barrier. No, he's not in the barrier. He was lucky enough to escape hitting the barrier there. Got to be careful with cars coming on track. And Asif really... No, he's really got in the way of Asif there. And Asif's going to be really, really upset. Oh, crikey. I'd be upset too. Who's Fletcher? Fletcher is the new guy, yeah? Brand new today, so he's right at the top of the time sheets. Wanted to show off in the 24 car. And that is practice over. Now Fletcher goes faster. DRS is going to open now as he pops it across the line. He does not go faster. But that is a statement and a half there for the driver in the black and green car. AJP up on his lap time, I believe he'll pit the end of this lap. No, he doesn't. He goes straight to the line. Instead of Travolta tailing into the wall in pit lane. DRS open and AJ goes into 14th. This is going to be an interesting qualifying session in Q1. Johnny Stokes currently on stream. More people were telling me it's going to be a wet race in my messages, so I'm looking forward to that. I've got my umbrella, so when I'm standing on the grid it'll be nice and fun. I can't remember if there was a vote, if there was a lap. I mean, I will vote for full race back to the next one, but Yeah, who knows. That is practice over here in Hockenheim. That was an informative session. Only one major problem, I believe, from what I saw, and that was the slight mistake. Full wet races, JF. Yes, that's what we hear. Yep. Back up to full wet, so we'll have the blue tyres on. Only one little thing we saw in that session, I believe, that was Carl rejoining the track a little bit dangerously and putting Asif off, and Asif going straight into the wall straight afterwards. Or into the gravel, at least. I've seen drivers do that a lot in life. Still. So here are the practice lap times for the German Grand Prix Fletcher. The new boy going fastest by 5/10 ahead of Saturn in P2. JR is in P3 ahead of Asif in P4. The Israeli drivers will be upset with Carl. Alex is in P5 ahead of Zeron, who's in P6. Johnny Stokes is in P7 and James is in P8. The Scotsman looking for a good turn of face. Scott in P9 ahead of Ford in P10. Well done, Ford. Outside the top 10, Wilson in P11. Ezra, the other Israeli, in P12. Chavez in P13 ahead of AJ in P14. John Travolta in P15 ahead of Carl in P16. Newcomer today, looking exciting. Booker crashing in qualifying is in P17, and Legend did not come out of the pits at all. So he is going to be on the back foot coming into qualifying, which is going to start in just a second. Look at this. We could do a one-day format. Why can't Formula 1? Q1 is getting ready to start. Big Mike needs to improve. Big Mike, I think anyone needs to improve by getting out of Q1 here. This is where all matters. Qualifying and then the race. So 80 minutes after going Q1 is all started. Every driver will have Park Ferme on now. The setups will be stuck. This is where we start to see times drop down. I believe we'll see someone start to prep for the wet race. A completely dry qualifying though, as we see the release of one car. I believe it might be, I'm not sure who it might be. It's Daisy Travolta launching out onto track. A couple of cars pulling out as well, so Travolta's going to be pushed back down. I think there's a bit of lag in the pit lane. Where's Travolta? So I can find him. There's Travolta. Travolta coming out just ahead of the number 29 car of Booker. So Booker, the only driver to crash in practice, or at least to retire from practice, is currently the first man on track. Booker likes to show off with the first couple of times in the car, but he's going to be overtaken by Travolta. Travolta looking exciting if he wants to get his first lap time started. As drivers now pile out. Remember, drivers from P16 down will be removed from qualifying, so we'll be losing 3 drivers from this qualifying session. This could be really quite fun coming into this race. So Travolta looking to get an early good banker lap in before he starts thinking about having to do a couple of other runs. The 21 car, the Sunburst car, a couple of Sunburst cars on track. I like the Sunburst livery, I do like it. It looks quick. I hate that the numbers, you can't edit the numbers a little bit better. I prefer having different style numbers, but hey ho, can't do that. Everything in this game. DRS opens now as they come into a fast-paced run into turn 1. What can Travolta do? Made a couple of mistakes in practice here. Shifts down twice and gets up there. Lap time. There we go. Currently in P9 is he's going to have a couple of drivers who are slow. This is not what you want. Oh, he's outbraking himself just a little bit, so maybe a rear lock up there as you watch Travolta start to push on. DRS wide open as he heads towards the hairpin. There's Carl coming into the hairpin on his outlap, so Carl's got to be aware that he's got to get out of the way for these cars they come up behind him. Travolta possibly is being close. The Israeli driver looking to improve, and he's got a chance today to have a good result. Obviously in the wet tyres, qualifying is going to be all important. Carl is really trying not to be in the way. He does not get in the way. I wouldn't say that was really impeding anyone. As you watch turn 4, obviously with Travolta, but he may have given it away there a little bit as we try and make sure that we can get on board with Booker. Straight after those yellow flags are waving, that'd be Carl. He's going slow. Drivers pushing hard. Travolta looking to get into Q2 for the first time. Oh, sorry, Q2 for 2 weeks on the trot. DRS going to open now. What can John do? He's crossing the line as Q1 of 14.2. He's Booker, who has invalidated his lap time, so we will not see Booker do a lap time this time round. There's the 59 car. I believe that's not a Ford, that's his teammate Chubb. Chubb's just starting his lap time now. Lock up there for 4 as drivers start to slow down into the 3. The yellow flags go away as drivers try and gap themselves to give themselves enough space. As F1 legend out of nowhere at 112.3. What a lap time there. 2 seconds quicker, or 1.9 seconds quicker, as Asif goes on 112.3 as well. Asif really looking on the point all this week. Big struggle there at turn 2. Lots of people slow as they're just sitting on the apex. Whoever that is going to get in mild trouble here. If you watch Ford, he's got in P4. Drivers can obviously complain. You see Zero, who in his potential last race for a while, is in P3 right now. Oh, God, that's abuse there for Chubb. Satin championship leader. What can he do in Q1 here for rapid pit stop? Got Asif right behind him. 32 yellow flags, driving goes slow on the straight. And Asif, the number 14 car, trailing the 83 car, sorry. The 83 car looking more planted as the green and white sunburst car powers around. This is great. I love watching these guys. Honestly, highlight of my week. It really will be this week. You watch Satin now through the final corner, powering up. DRS is going to flip open as the championship leader. Trouble. Satin goes up to P3 and Asif, I don't know what happened there. Here's Chubb. Chubb on his lap time with his light up rig now. Looking to play. Big lock up for the 59 car. Car struggling a little bit there, maybe on cold tyres, maybe just hitting out onto the marbles, which already set the form here in Q1 12 minutes ago. As Fletcher currently sat in P5 on the medium compound tyre. Sets 2 yellow flags going into the hairpin, a couple of slow drivers. Keeping an eye up there. JR though going even faster, 111.3, really putting the cat amongst the pigs in a proper second faster there. What can Chubb do? Chubb is also on the quick tyres, he's got JR's teammate right in front of him. I can't remember who JR's teammate is, it's not Scotty, it might be James. Oh, Chubb going wide as you like, DRS open, he's going to cross the line, P6 for Chubb. Gunmetal grey of Lattice, or JR looking very comfortable in the 25 car. Right up at the top. Here's AJ to the P. Look at the P in AJ's name, it's pink. Everyone loves pink. Pink's a fantastic colour. DRS open now as AJ comes across the line. It's P2. It's still a margin to find. 9/10 the gap at the top. Sector 1 yellow flags are waving. Slow cars are not to lag in the lobby. Might be down to the internet's all being slowed down a little bit there. Scotty with a invalidated lap time. We'll see him run again. Let's find Carl with another invalidated lap time. He's going rather slow in the number 19 car. Yellow flags waving up on the straight as normal. And Alex, swap it. There we go, Alex, I found him. The number 15 car, partner to JR. Coming into Vano corner. As he starts talking north, he's got the same gloves on I wear. DRS orphan. Truck it loud, it's pretty sick. I don't know why I suddenly went northern there for the English folks. But I did, and I fancied it, and I did, and I like it. I'll be doing it all night now. Butcher currently was fastest in free practice, is currently in P9, but remember, this is not all that matters. This is only Q1, all that matters is staying out of the bottom 3. So from 16th down, 15 being the final driver to be taken over to Q2. What can the man with the Yas Marina helmet do? Powering the car out, he's got no ERS left whatsoever. DRS is going to open, got another black and green car in front, and he goes up to P5 on the medium tyres. He's going to be monstrous in Q3. Again, Scotty struggling with the lap time, sir. Oh, do excuse me. No. Water went the wrong way. Booker struggling as well into Q1. So he's in turn 1 and Q1 he's struggling. His errors. Still fumbling over that massively. A week on. To the blue car, the 45 car, 48 car, apologies. Trying to remember all of his numbers. Plus real life racing cars, he's very entertaining. So the solid blue car. I mean, I like blue, that's too much blue for me. Just for me, it's my own personal opinion. Set the 3 yellow flags, the driver's way off the track. I don't know who that car is, it's Scotty! Scotty's well off the track. You know, dance across the gravel is an impression of Pierre Gasly there. That's where Pierre Gasly crashed. Another driver crashed as well. It's Booker! Booker planted in the wall, the number 29 car. Another driver as well off the track. Lots of drivers struggling with grip here. In fact, it was Alex. Alex is round, he's overheating his tyres, he's heading towards the barrier, but he's able to keep his way out. The car power back up, engine recycled into reverse. And spin it back round. There we go. The driver's really not enjoying this surface. Oh, Alex in trouble! He's overheated his rear tyres, he's just got to get that car back. Last 8 minutes though of qualifying here. F1 legend in the orange number 2 car. I love this car. This might be my new favourite. I might have found my new favourite there. Well, I would if there was lots of lag. The orange number 2 car. Whoa, he's round! Big slide there for number 2. That is legend. Where is he? Lots of lag, and that's unfortunate to see. He abuses the rear tyres, trying to get them heated up again. Heading into pit lane. He does bail into pit lane. A little bit late though. Give like the M4, you get told off. Another invalid lap time. So Booker, Scotty, who's about to come round to finish his lap time, and Johnny really struggling today. What can Scotty do? Scotty's gonna go. P14 for you. Carl Frown's now pushed out into the danger zone on his out lap. He is starting his lap time now, and he's going very dangerously into turn 1, and Johnny really getting in the way of Carl. And Carl will argue that's not fair, you got in my way, and Johnny will go, hey, well, you blocked me into the final corner. These drivers looking like they might get a little bit punchy there in the pink sunburst car. So let's take the assumption that Johnny's on another lap time, which he is. What can happen? So they're both going deep. These two almost look like they're racing, Carl and Johnny. And there's AJ right behind. He's not looking very comfortable right now. He is looking comfortable at the timesheet, but he's looking at these guys thinking, what on earth are they doing? Carl is really all over the place right now. His lap time over, really. He's falling further and further into AJ. I'll tell you what, AJ's not going to be very happy if he gets in the way. Last 6 minutes of Q1. Johnny looking to improve. I think Johnny will improve his lap time by finally getting one on the board. So check, yep. He's looking at, it's Travolta currently. Let's get Johnny. Johnny is going to get a lap time on the board finally. It's going to be P11. That pushes Scotty into the danger zone. And Carl is still out there in P17. Really struggling. Where's Booker? Booker Bronco, 3rd lap on these tyres. Really putting the pressure on his car. What can he do? The 29 car is going to put it in. John Travolta's out in sector 1. And Booker managed to get a lap time in. James in trouble. There's a crash. There's the crash car of John. And John getting it way out of the way. So drivers need to improve on their lap time. Well, Travolta's out, so that's one sorted. Who's supporting RPR then? Yeah, I'm getting to it. Alright. I'm getting to it. So needs to improve and Carl. Right now, wow, that's horrendous lag time. I get it, Natchez. Whoa, I need to switch off him before the lag kills me. Being pressured into talking about them. Let's find an RPR car, see if we can talk to them. No, because they're both in pit lane, because they're being very... Well, the RPR team are sponsored themselves by Vasaro Sims. So they've both got some nice big Sims to look up and play with. And Vasaro's doing a good job. I mean, we'd have to talk with Chubb about his nice light-up sim to really know the extent of how good the sims are. I can only assume. I believe they're motion sims as well. I don't know too much about sims, to be honest. I'm an old man when it comes to this stuff. I have a controller, and that's about as quick as I go. Johnny Stokes currently P10, though, looking very entertaining. Last 4 minutes of qualifying. Currently fastest is JR in P1 ahead of AJ in P2, then Legend in P3. Asif is in P4, and Fletcher, the new boy, is really impressive in P5. He's coming out on the soft now, finally. So this is the first time we've ever seen him do a lap time on the soft tyres. So we can see what he does, whether he can improve on that. I think it'll be a monstrously quick lap time. I don't think the RPR boys are struggling that much. I think they're going to be up there soon. It just takes a little bit. They don't need to push too hard in Q1. What they have to do is make sure they're not in the bottom 3 positions. Fletcher, though, coming around the final corner. What can he do? DRS pops open on the 21 car. It's going to be a few seconds slower. He's not doing his best job. There is a slow car. That's Scotty. Scotty's getting well out of the way there. But Scotty is safe currently, sector 1. Carl Brown, though, is not safe. He needs to get up a few positions there. He needs to improve by a good 5 tenths. No, he needs to improve by a good second if he wants to get into Q2 even. So what can Carl do? The number 19 car, pressure's all on. He's got 2 laps of this track and he's got no ERS left. He's pushing hard, he's doing as best he can, but he's starting to struggle, I think. He is on 3 lap 4 tyres. There is a driver behind him, that is Fletcher actually, so 2 of the new boys are seen in the same shot. Oh, cross round, and I think that's it. Yep, front wing off, that is all she wrote for qualifying for Carl. And he's going to be kicking himself his first time out in RPR. And that's it for qualifying for him. He's going to be off the road, starting in P17 currently, unless Booker can improve, which we'd like to see. We'd like to see every driver improve. His errors coming into the hairpin. He wants to improve it. I reckon he's about safe. I reckon the danger zone is currently P13 with Jay. So errors, sector 1 and 2 yellow flags, and that's errors with an invalidated lap time. I think we're Scott. Whoa, lag. He's following Fletcher. Way behind Fletcher. What on earth happened there? It's like the connection just dipped on both of them at once, but still. 1 minute left to go of qualifying, 1 minute 30 left to go. So there's still lap time in it. Drivers can still come out and do some lap times, but I don't think they will. I think we've got all she wrote right now. Where's Booker? He's driving big under pressure. He will get another lap time in, but I think he's going to drain his battery, so he won't have time to recharge. This is last chance saloon for Booker Bronco to get into Q2, and all the focus in the world is on him. Let's get telemetry online as DRS is active, braking hard into turn 2. He's really struggling in this car as he tries his hardest through 3 and into DRS zone. Now, pushing his absolute hardest is Bronco. What can he do? Should really shift down his ERS to the point where he chooses not to. I think it might be an auto. No, I think it's all on manual actually. Booker Bronco powering up as best he can. He's draining the ERS because he has it. JR retires. He knows he's fastest this session. This is his last chance saloon. He's got a whopping 2 seconds. No, he's got 3 seconds, 4 seconds even to make up really if he wants to get up there. He's gonna be really last chance saloon now. He's gone a second faster. He's gonna skim the gravel, and that's it. Booker's out of qualifying here. He's gonna be starting last. Oh no! What a horrible thing to see. And unfortunately, Booker Bronco is out of the running as he is. I think that was I'm not sure who that was, but it wasn't a driver that was live. I believe that was Travolta, who is currently in P. No, it must have been someone else I didn't see. I wonder if we can get a good shot of it now. Who is it? It's oh, it might be someone else. Well, Scott pulls into pit lane, and that's Q1 over. Drivers not taking further part. Three of them, Travolta, Booker, and Carl, are out of qualifying here in Germany. It'll be a long time for them to sit on the sidelines. So we wait for Scotty to get wheeled into the pits and for the screen to be brought down. We'll head over to Q2 in just a moment's time. Look at that, synchronized. Drivers through into Q2 in fastest to slowest. Lattice in P1 ahead of Fletcher in P2, ahead of AJ in P3. Some fantastic lap times between those three. Legend is in P4, Asif is in P5, still looking for time for him, but I think he'll be quick today. Satin is in P6, championship leader. Alex is in P7, Zeron is in P8, and Chubb is in P9, Stokes is in P10. Outside the top 10, Scotty in P11, Wilson in P12, Ezra is in P13, Ford is in P14, and Medici is in P15. Sorry, James is in P15. Drivers taking no further part in qualifying. Travolta, Carl, and Booker will no longer be on track. 3 cars removed from qualifying as we head into Q2. This is when all the fun begins with the strategy. But remember, they can go as fast as they want because we are on a full wet race here in RPR. So 100% full wet race. Go as long as you like. Wet style it. "15 minutes of qualifying have just begun as Q2 ramps up for pressure." Big Mike struggling, that seems to be the order of the day, saying Big Mike is struggling. I think we'll see Mike have some fun today. We'll see what happens. Drivers start to roll out. And there is F1 Legend. We're catching him walk out of pit lane there. End of pit lane, that's very nice. It's a number 2 car. I really like that design. I really like this colour scheme. It's all good. So, drivers on track is I like how drivers are still going for like different. They haven't looked. Some drivers haven't looked. You can tell who haven't looked by the fact that they're putting on different tyres, like Fletcher currently and Johnny. They haven't looked to see it being a full wet race. Gonna mention that again, see if I can, coax them into changing the tyres. Remember, only the top 10 will go forward into Q3 and for the top 10 shootout, and that will happen in a few moments' time, in 13 and a half minutes, we're looking on board F1 Legend. So Legend, followed by, I believe that's Wilson, as they start to get ready to start their lap time. Number 2 ahead of number 83. Eyes forward as all the drivers get ready to line up. The man with the F1 Esports helmet, who is the F1 Legend, is about to come across the line to begin his lap time. Drivers all slowing up. Look at that, nice and respectful, keeping good gaps amongst each other. DRS is open, and Legend begins his lap time. Turning through turn 1, all comfortable. He has a slow car ahead, but that car should get out of the way into the braking zone. It is Fletcher. He's come out on the hard tyres, yet still hasn't paid attention. DRS going to open there, Fletcher gets well out the way there of one car, and he's going to have to get out of the way of the other that's coming soon. So Legend into the hairpin now. Very comfortable with the Alan Prost gloves as he gears up into sector 2. Let's use this camera angle as we're using the Halo cam. Look at that, passing the Mercedes passing one grandstand, sorry, and heading towards the Mercedes grandstand as they pass the white car. Faster still comes F1 Legend. There's the Mercedes grandstand, braking hard, goes through the carousel. Now dancing across these curbs like it's nobody's business. It's going to get very snippy in the race now as they're coming through the final corner. What can Legend do? DRS opens as he crosses the line. Now it's fastest, obviously. And Big Mike is not the car across the line next to Saturn. Saturn going second place and Chubb going third place. So Legends to the fastest line track. DRS open. And now as Wilson crosses the line, he's going to be in fourth. So quite a margin off everyone else. Asif though chucking it way up there. Cat amongst the pigeons to the 14. Let's see, Fletcher, he's right in the pack now. He's going to try and dance his way through the slower cars. Because he wants to get his lap time in on the hard compounded tyres, which obviously isn't the tyres you should be using in this type of qualifying session when you know it's going to be a wet race. AGP currently is got an invalidated lap time, so something went wrong. As Zeron, he's going through the final couple of corners now. The final mini sector there, dances across the curbs, not wanting to touch them at all. Lose grip as he goes too far out of one of them. Right up on the orange curb there. DRS is going to open now. As Zeron crosses the line, it's going to be P6 for the Dutch driver. Fletcher's in the wall! Fletcher's in trouble! Spins back around. Remember, there's other drivers on lap times as Fletcher has to, with a two-tone helmet, with a literal two-tone helmet, has to get started again. Really not enjoying this race. This qualifying session. He's on the wrong tyres, in my opinion. JR, though, goes fastest. That's not JR, there he is. JR goes fastest in the number 24 car. A 1:11.3. What a magnificent lap time from JR. The 25 car, sorry. 24 is another car. Alex, currently his teammate. He's currently through the hairpin in sector 2. He's looking okay. I'd say he's quite comfortable right now as he comes into the stadium section 1. Not setting the water lights is Alex, but I think all will change come the wet weather. Qualifying here, always a staple to watch in Hockenheim. If you're watching Alex push on, braking hard now into carousel. Towards the mini sector. I class this as a mini sector of its own, a whole different sector. What can Alex do? Wearing the same gloves I normally do, the F1 Esports gloves. DRS is going to open. As he crosses the line now, it's going to be P2. So it's currently a team lockout on the top for JR and for Alex. JR heading straight out into pit lane. He's thinking, right, I've had enough now with the red, white and the blue helmet. Alex, though, very comfortable with that. 80 the piece pops up into P3. And then all the fun happens. Currently in the danger zone, Scotty in the danger zone ahead of Fletcher, Stokes, Ezra and James, all in the danger zone. And James actually getting in the way of Scott a little bit there, and potentially on lap times themselves, takes 2 yellow flags away into slow car. I think Fletcher just popped up into P12 there. Eyes forward as Scott tries to get a lap time. He's going to have a little bit of tow from James, so whether he ran up to him to on this lap time or not, but James is going to do a lap time first. James is going to pop up into, I think he's going to be about P9. James does pop it into P10, but Scott goes into P8, pushing Zeron and Wilson out. Ford's in a bit of trouble here today, he's in the danger zone. Fletcher's going slow, and Stokes obviously needs to improve a lot on this lap time if he wants to get into Q3. Current cut-off time is a 1:12.947. It's going to be a tight grid, really tight here at Hockenheim. Will we see Fletcher pit this time round? I think we should really. He should really head in, change his tyres to the quicker medium tyres that he does cut in again late into pit lane. There should be a bollard there. Couple of drivers down slope. Be nice to mention the chat. Let's have a look at the chat. Mike is saving his hand. Yeah, I think Mike's really, for the first time I agree with everyone, Mike is in the danger zone today, so he might be struggling a little bit. I have to get my jumper on, so I'm starting to get a little bit cold now. My PlayStation branded hoodie I got from Primark. It's not even a hoodie, it's just a jumper, yeah. So what can Mike do? He's on an outlap right now. I just have to leave my microphone for just a second. Look, it's
is with the lag today. It's pretty awful, this lag. So just gone 9 o'clock here in the UK. How is everybody in the chat currently? Thank you for joining us for the second stream, the second full commentated stream of RPR. I see a driver going slow on the inside there. Maybe a mistake as Wilson goes to begin his lap time. Here's Zeron coming through. I think he made a mistake on the previous lap time, but no, he is going for it on this lap. Zeron looking to improve. Remember, as I mentioned midway through practice, this potentially being his last race for a while as he's moving house, so hopefully the move goes well. Zeron, we all hope he do. All the drivers looking to get into the top 10, and it's close there. Zeron is currently in the danger zone. We want the Dutch driver to get up there. We want Mike to do well as well. We want all the drivers to do well here from the official RPR stream. What can Zeron get up to? DRS, he's a little bit up on his time now. He needs to get quicker, and it's going to be close. All going to matter in the latest little moments here for the 38 car. I don't know if he's done it or not. It's going to be close. DRS opening now as he crosses the line. It's going to be P9. That pushes forward into the danger zone as James gets knocked out of the current top 10. Here's Ezra. He's into pit lane as well. He's struggling. Oh, this is a quality time here in Mike with an invalidated lap time. And really bailing off the track to get out of the way of a car, and that's not going to help him. He's got to get sorted soon. Here's Chubb, who he was getting out of the way of. DRS open now as Chubb is going to cross the line. It's going to be P5, pushing everyone down just a little bit. Fletcher on the soft. He's got purple in sector 1. Now we're in sector 2, which is a rather long sector now, but quick as you do. What can Fletcher do in P13 currently? He is expected to be in Q3, challenging for pole position. Was fastest in practice. I believe was not fastest in Q1. But what can he do? Is he going to be fastest in Q2 for the last 5 minutes of qualifying to starting to ramp up the pressure as drivers now thinking, oh, I need to get moving. Is this the time where we see Ford is purple in sector 2 as well? Fletcher going even faster now. Keep an eye on the driver in the 21 car, really struggling there. Oh, sorry, 24 car. And into pit lane. No! Oh, yes, into pit lane. Lag. See, reacting to lag is half of my stream. Half the fun there. Wilson now in the way of Ford a little bit. I believe Wilson's on an in lap. No, they're both on time laps. As we keep an eye on what Ford can do. The 92 car versus the Ford bailing into pit lane now, actually. It's Ford can't think he's done enough. Wilson crossing the line. He's going to be 5 seconds off, but he's on a recharge lap, and now it begins. The pressure for whether Wilson, or as everyone calls him, Baby Hands Mike, can get up there. See the slip there in the barge board as we look at Wilson's car. The green and white sunburst car, lovely. Reminds me of a Bentley car. This does. Bentley race car, the 92 car. He's going quick. Whether he'll be fast enough, I don't know. Coming up to a timing line in just a moment. Time couple of braking zones, turning zones first. We look at Wilson now. Let's get a split time. Is he faster? He is currently slower by a tenth on his lap time. Mike is really looking like he might be just out of qualifying here. The last 2 minutes begins. Yeah, I think Booker will have a good race. We'll see what happens though. He's currently on the back foot of the grid, unfortunately. Wilson going to cross the line now. Can he improve? It's going to be P13. It is an improvement, but not enough. It's so close at the bottom of it. Where's Ezra's big lock up there into Stadium 1. Heading towards the Mercedes Stadium now. What will happen? 2 tenths down his lap time. Sorry, 2 tenths up on his lap time as Ezra really cannot get in. Last 2 minutes of qualifying to currently JR in P1 ahead of Legend in P2, Alex in P3 ahead of AJ in P4, Chubb in P5, Stokes in P6, Acid in P7, Stassen in P8, Scotty in P9 and James in P10. He's the man on the mission of getting into Q2. Is this man, the number 21 car? But whether he's going to make it into Q3, we don't know. Here's Zeron, 10 seconds down on his time. He'll be pitting at the end of his lap. I think his qualifying is over. Ford is on a mission as well. He wants to get out and into Q3 as well, the number 19 car. I think we expect to see it from this man, Fletcher. James could be a sleeping giant. I think so, but he's currently in P10. We'll see what happens. We know for a fact that Jay Fletcher here, he has got the time and the speed to be into Q3. We just need to see him hook up a lap time, not bail in. But this is it, the final lap for the Xbox style car, the black and the green car. The Mecha Crow engine spinning in the back. All using one engine in this model, and he does go purple in sector 2. Is this it? He's coming up to a slow car. Is this going to spoil the party for the 24 as he comes up towards the 48 car? The solid blue car, no, but he's going to be well out of the way. There is now a life of just Fletcher. Fletcher is going to be his own worst enemy in defence. Is he going to push down James into the relegation zone? He is going to push him down, but it's only P3. That's a quality grid so far into Q3. Where is Ford? Ford currently on his lap time, pushing his car absolutely mental. The rapid pixel car. What can he do? Currently in the relegation zone, James, Zeron, Ford, Wilson and Ezra are in that relegation zone to be no longer taking part of qualifying. It's close. Is there a cigar? We don't know yet. Drivers getting close to the hairpin. Is Ford going to be able to find that cigar that's going to get him through with the gold and the black gloves, or the yellow and the black gloves? Go on, rear end sliding there. He's into the gravel. That's it for Ford. It's all over. It's all over for Ford. He will not be in Q2. Ezra will not be in Q2. Will Scott make it into Q2? No, he will not, because he just cut the corner. What an ending. What an ending indeed. Crikey. Asif on an in-lap. And Fletcher on an in-lap as well. James makes it out of Q3. Yes, he does, for the skin of his teeth. But James does make it out into Q3. What a show there for James. He's done well. I'd like to think that Ford would have had the pace there if he hadn't have made the mistake into the final corner. But as we watch Scott pull into pit lane, we'll get the nice shot of the garages once more. Drivers all wheeling in. I love the shot of the animations of the drivers being wheeled in. Well, remember everybody, this grid is there, but it is going to be a wet race, fully wet race here for Hockenheim, so we'll see what all these drivers are looking forward to. Everyone's looking very comfortable with it. The stream is very nice. Only a bit of lag we're getting off of a few drivers, and the chat's looking very respectful as well. You see a shot of James, who is in 10th. The final driver to qualify for Q3. So from fastest to slowest, here are the results of Q2. JR in P1 ahead of Legend in P2, Fletcher in P3, a late charge there, looking for pole position will be him on his first showing here. Alex is in P4 ahead of Asif in P5, AJ is in P6, Chubb is in P7, Johnny is in P8, Saturn, Chubb's View is in P9, and James in P10. Drivers taking no further part in qualifying today for the final time, only having to sit out one session. Scott, Zeron, Ford, Wilson and Ezra will not take further part, but they will all be coming back for the race, and the wet weather tyres will be obviously in effect. Ooh, who's looking forward to that? I've got custard creams next to me as well. I won't eat them out of the microphone, but I have custard creams. It's always fun to mention. Biscuit of choice for commentator, custard creams. Rather dark here in Q3 as the battle begins. It's raining! It's raining, everybody, in Q3! Drivers now having to power themselves out, get out of the lap, get out of the garages now, and get on some dry tyres, because I think we might have some rain at the end of Q3, where the drivers will be unable to improve on their lap time. Everyone's been deployed, every driver rushing out as quickly as possible. We'll see who we can get. I think latest is the first driver on track. So it's going to be seeing who can get their lap times in first. It could be the first 3 people on track are the top 3 because the rain improves way too much. We could have a topsy-turvy grid here, or a topsy-turvy top 10, as JR is the first man on track with the black glove. So I think that's Chubb in P2. So Chubb will be the second driver out on track. So JR with the red, the blue and the white helmet. I normally have where his is red, have it blue, and then have where his is blue, red. That's just me. Furthermore, Optimus Prime. Plus, you, Jack. So what can JR do? DRS is going to still be enabled. That's going to have a whole load of trouble there. He looks very confident with the grip currently, is JR. So through the final corner of this big banked stadium, DRS is going to open as Hockenheim begins with Q3, 10 minutes on the clock. Through turn 1, JR taking it very fast, with DRS open still as he powers through into sector 2 in just a few moments time. DRS detector zone through that line, DRS activation line now. Look at this sweeping camera, we're going to track him all the way towards the hairpin. Going to get hopefully a helicopter shot, no, we're going to get a long closing shot. The arm swings following the 25, very slow there as we go on board with him. Pushing his hardest is JR through into Stadium 1, breaking it just after the 50 metre board, about 40 metres into corner. Getting all good, a little bit slow on power though, but you know, what can you do? Aston Martin's driving around here with a McLaren MP45B. Yeah, I don't have much fun with modern cars. What can JR do though? Breaking into the Mercedes Stadium, heading towards the big start-finish stadium. I love this stadium. Looks very pretty. I'd love to be here for the DTM. A little bit wide though, JR running up onto the skid plate. It's okay. The drag structure fine. DRS open now as he pushes across the line. Fastest lap time a 1:13.1. What can Chubb do? Can Chubb beat that? It's going to be a 1:14.2. Legend. He's going to be next on track. No, he's not. Some of the drivers on track. Active goes into P3, a 1:14.3. What can Legend do? He was quick with the F1 style helmet. He was very quick last time round. Can he get up there if he runs wide? It's okay though. Who's quickest in the wet? DRS open, 18 to P, currently P2 has a second, but fastest goes F1 Legend, a 1:13.1. Fletcher was late out pit lane. Johnny Stokes also is still in pit lane. Saturn, their championship leader, knowing that these conditions are dire. Currently in P5, AJ passing Saturn and Fletcher on his lap time right now. I will be amazed as the rain starts to come down if Fletcher can get pole position in these conditions. I think the rain's getting slightly too heavy now where the tyres are going to start to be less effective. I think we've already got our top 7. Keep an eye there, Fletcher battling the car, the 24 car, now wanting to get up onto the timing boards. Obviously Debbie Thompson has been insanely quick the whole time we've been streaming. Drivers bailing the pit lane. I think this is the top 7 we already have now. 7 minutes of qualifying. Fletcher crossing the line. It's not going to be fastest. It's going to be P8, and that is true. I think drivers might come out there to do a test on wet tyres, so a little bit more dialed in for the race. But I think we'll see DRS disabled in a few moments' time as the rain starts to come down more and more here at Hockenheim, hinting towards the wet race that is sure to come. The inevitable storm that is going to be attacking the drivers while they're on track. Looking at James right now, who made it out of Q2 into Q3, much of the fans applauding in the chat. James through the final corner. It's not going to be fastest. He's not going to be... I think he's going to be slowest, unfortunately. He's going to be P9. He's going to be quicker than Stokes. So I think that's our grid. down to experience, you can see the slick tyres are starting to lose effect as the ground gets wet. Look at the slide in there from Alex as he struggles to power up the car. So we have a couple of drivers. Let's check in with Fletcher now. I think, yeah, he's 4 seconds off the time. That's it. So I'd say pole position goes to F1 Legend. F1 Legend currently in pole position ahead of Lattis in P2. Alex is in P3 ahead of AJ in P4, Stassen in P5 and Chubb is in P6. Asif is on another lap time in P7. Fletcher is in P8, James in P9, Johnny Stokes is in P10. I think that's the day we're going to have, to be honest. Oh, Fletcher leaving the session. Is that down to lag? Hopefully it was. I think it is. He's just said, he mentioned something a minute ago. See James heading back into pit lane. A couple of drivers are coming back out though. So I wonder if they are doing what I said about starting to dial in the car for the wet. Let's move away from that. Johnny Stokes with a current invalidation. I think he'll pit at the end of it. So we see Asif, the slide there. He's heading into pit lane and that's it. A couple of drivers are coming out. None of them coming out on wet tyres though. I would have come out on wet. Or he started to try it, you know. Interesting nonetheless though here in Hockenheim as we watch JR head back into pit lane. Championship leader in P5. This is on the makings to make it even more interesting, isn't it? Car on track currently is F1 Legend. He's testing out the waters. 4 minutes to go, qualifying 3. Current pole position sitter, and I think he will be pole position sitter for the second season of Rapid, because Carl leaves the session as well. So Carl, who went out in Q1, has left the session as well. And you know what? Legend went faster than Sector 3 there, so he wants to improve on his lap time, but I think that's it. So we won't stay on board with him, we're going to look at the pit lane. I know it would be like just following one car around as we normally have done, but you know. Yeah, just for a laugh, let's have a look at the... Oh, we do have a driver on the intermediates there. Let's have a look at the incidents here. Speeding into pit lane, couple of speeding into pit lanes. I don't like speeding into pit lane, especially because I'm old. I don't like this type of stuff, and, you know. DRS has been disabled here in Hockenheim. I think we should see some drivers come out on the intermediate tyres, dial in the cars for the wet running that we're going to be having in the race, so they know how the car's going to behave. As Fletcher out for session, I think Legend is having a bit of trouble on his run. Maybe he'll head pit lane now. If the driver's all retired, now we get further into the race, we get closer to the race. But hey ho, that would involve drivers, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, says Jack. Yeah, it is a 1, 2, 3. Carl rejoins us. And there, a little slide there from F1 Legend as he heads towards pit lane now. Pole position sits is now, well, here's your top 10. That's it, confirmed. And the orange and grey car, number 2, is going to be wheeled back into pit lane. All drivers really should retire now, because it means we get back to pit lane quicker. We do have a car out on the intermediate tyres. That is James. So on the grooved intermediate tyres, what can he do in the 21? He won't improve on his lap time, but I think he'll get more dialed in and he'll know how the car's going to behave, unlike some of the other drivers that aren't going to come out on these tyres. Only 2 minutes left to qualify. It's going to be around about a 1 minute 30 lap. An abusive engine there. It sounds like a puppy that's on a treadmill. Maybe a comment there, the junior driver is on pole position ahead of the main variety boys. Yep. Vitality is going to be interesting. I'm very happy to see all their drivers there. Let's see Asif there in the all-white car in his outlap. That must be really commentated on, apart from the outlaps and the laps of drivers testing out the intermediate tyres. I'm not sure if they've had any wet races before. F1 legend is good, he is. Quote junior driver, says Jack in the chat. 45 seconds left of this run before we get the timer and the checker flag out. So it's telling every driver to finish their runs and then get back in the pit lane. We'll see what happens as we head towards, which is going to be about 45-minute race, 46 minutes race. It'll be a little bit longer than that with the rain coming, about an hour race, maybe 55-minute race, depending on safety cars and how intensity of the rain. See Asif now coming through the final corner, 15 seconds on the top. I think he won't be able to hit his faster lap time. 10 seconds. I think we'll see him bail into the pit lane. No, he doesn't bail into the pit lane. Whoa, sliding the rear end. 3, 2, 1. And that is qualifying over for the German Grand Prix here for Rapid Pixel Racing Season 2 of Rapid Pixel Racing. And Asif will qualify P7. Well done to Asif. I like the all-white car. So, as I get points, yes, give me points. Here is pole position decided by 2 thousandths of a second. Legend in P1 ahead of Lasses in P2. Alex is in P3 ahead of AJ in P4. Sappin is in P5. Chubb is in P6. Asif is in P7 ahead of Fletcher in P8. Everyone tipped for pole position. James in P9 ahead of Johnny, who did not set a lap time in P10. Obviously, that coupled with everyone else, we'll see what happens as we go back to a full grid, and maybe even a little bit less, because I don't know if Fletcher rejoined us. I'm going to be mentally prepared for just being thrown straight into the race. I'm not sure if the formation lap was confirmed to be on or not. I knew there was talks about being a vote for it. And that is proper intermediate weather here as the rain has continued on. And the drivers all now looking forward to starting this race. I think it'll be chaos into turn 1. I think we might see a safety car today. And whether I get a text saying red flag or not, I don't know. We shall see what happens as we start this long-ass race. Fletcher has joined us, so we have all 18 drivers here as the session starts to tick down. 12 seconds, 11 seconds, 10 seconds before we get towards green flag here in Germany, and I'm really excited. 25 past, we're working on Mike's hand strength, says Chris, yes. 25 past 9 in the UK, the lights are on, heading to 5 red lights here in Germany, the lights are on, the lights are out. Now the drivers are away. It's a great start from P2, but a better start from the back of the grid there in the whole pink car into turn 1. Who's going to make a mistake? No one. I see AJ pushing on. AJ's around. AJ round in turn 1. He's going to avoid everyone. He's going to be hit. And he is hit by a few drivers. And unfortunately, Johnny Stokes retired. AJ's defeated with a 5-second penalty for severe collision with Johnny Stokes. A safety car deployed instantly on the start and a car in the wall. I said we see a safety car, but crikey, that was quick. And it seemed that all happened after AJ tried to avoid tried to go to the inside of the P3 man who was a little bit slow. And all these drivers remembering that the safety car is out now. So, wow, one driver out already. The man who's in P10 is currently out, and AJ at the back of the grid. Ford looks like he was brought into a bit of trouble as well. There's Carl. There's a bit of damage, a big damage on Ford's wing. So maybe people just got a little bit too eager. That's why I say there should be a formation lap, in my opinion. So everyone can just go a little bit more gently there and know how to push into the corners. F1 Legend will pick up the safety car to come through towards the final corner to complete lap 1 here. And it's F1 Legend from JR, from Alex, from Saturn, champion leader in P4 currently. Asif is in P5, Chubb is in P6, Fletcher is in P7, James is in P8, Scott is in P9, Zeron is in P10, Travolta is in P11, Wilson is in P12. Booker Bronco currently very comfortable in P13, Ezra is in P14, Ford is in P15, AJ is in P16, he'll be hitting the pit lane, and Carl seems to have had a spin somewhere on the track because he's in P17. One retirement on lap 1 here out of 34, and that was Johnny Stokes who buried it into the wall, unfortunately. AJ into pit lane, and also Ford, Wilson and Travolta. Lots of drivers being involved in early lap collisions. Nose coming off on Travolta's car, as well as on Wilson, as well as on Ford. Ford hasn't been serviced yet, so with AJ. Going full slowly going out, and the car wasn't ready for Ford. Oh dear. And AJ, he'll blame himself there. And I think, to be honest, there's nothing really we can do in that situation. He was round. So we will have 3 laps behind the Mercedes AMG safety car. Not Bert Mylander driving, it is our friend Versteeg who is driving the safety car for us. So, look at this. I wonder if F1 Legends on the radio is saying, alright, time to speed up the car, time to speed up the safety car. The safety car is going nice and slow today here at Hockenheim. I don't think, to be honest, this will be the last time we see this safety car. And, James with a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits under the safety car. That's a bit tough there for James. Look at the rain powering down. I'm surprised we haven't seen drivers pit for full wet as of yet. Only lap 2 behind the safety car. I think we'll have another lap after this, possibly 2. Now we'll see what really happens as the time starts to tick down. Here's AJ, he's got to catch up to the train. Same as Ford, who's currently in P16. Ford did well in Q2. Unfortunately, did not manage to get out of it. Wilson as well, getting caught up. Working his hand strength now. This is the sight I'm all too used to, seeing all the cars behind the safety car. Normally the club events that I do marshalling for have a safety car start. They start behind the safety car, do a rolling start, and they all go nuts. Oh, very slow into turn 1 here. Someone's going unnaturally slow, and Carl with a time penalty for colliding with Booker. A severe collision with Booker. Well, Carl was further back from what I remember. I know he got moved up due to pit lane, but there's no damage on Booker's car, so he seems to be okay. Carl, it must have been someone going slow through turn 1, which backed up the whole grid, which then caused Carl to just get stepped out and hit him. I mean, Michael Fassbender, the actor, also made a similar mistake here under the safety car due to when he was Travolta's going, what's Travolta doing? Not really paying much attention there. But yeah, Michael Fassbender, the actor, he's made a similar mistake there in under the safety car. Actually, I think at this track in Hockenheim, in the Porsche Cup in last year, I want to say. Might have been this year because there's no racing on this year. So lap 3, well underway as we head towards lap 4. One more lap under it. No safety car in this lap. The lights are out as the drivers now have to respect that F1 Legend is our new safety car. He's got to slow down, make sure the whole field is all booked up together. At what point will he drop it? And oh dear, there's been a massive collision under the safety car. Booker Bronco, Esme, lots of drivers with penalties now under the safety car. Drivers not paying attention to the fact that the safety car's coming in this lap. They weren't really paying attention. Hopefully no damage. Still waiting on the car. So still catching the safety car. Who's going to go when? When does he drop it? When does he power out the final corner? And there we go to green flag racing. No, he's still waiting. And there, he's gone. He's got a massive jump now. And I think Alex is starting to put pressure on AJ. Travolta's in trouble. Chubb's in trouble now. Sector 3, yellow flags are waving. Who is it? It's Travolta in the pit lane. Oh, big crash there for Booker Bronco as AJ tries to get through. Carl and Booker. Carl into pit lane. Booker's had an absolute nail on lap 1 of actual racing now as we catch the ball with Chubb. He's trying to fight with Fletcher. drivers all powering through. Obviously, Carl in pit lane after something's happened. Zeron's in trouble. Zeron's had a half spin by the looks of it. He's going nice and slow there as he gives up more position. Here's AJ looking to pass forward. He's going to pop to the inside line as if being passed by Saturn. And AJ is passing forward. He is through on Mr. RPR himself. And oh, big moment there as AJ couldn't control the car, but he is still going in front. Saturn dropping behind Fletcher now, and they're all chucking up the inside at different corners. Is Fletcher to the back of the gap with Asset's in trouble? The Israeli driver is going to keep it on track now as Fletcher tries to overtake off track. Is he going to do it? Well done to Fletcher for overtaking there. Could argue that he was off track there. A couple of drivers at the back also going off track in these wet conditions, maybe not paying attention and having all dry setups on the car. Who knows what's going to happen though? As drivers all try and go through. Asif currently in P5, he's going to improve. Fletcher, oh, someone's been caught out, it's Chubb. Chubb's in trouble. F1 legend releases away though, still fastest man on track. As Chubb backed up the field heavily by hitting the grass there. I wonder if the safety car restart will be under investigation from the stewards. I'm not sure, I didn't see much of it. As he drove all Bailey and Booker Bronco into pit lane. Zeron into pit lane. Travolta will have a chance to overtake them as well as Carl. And Zeron going for full wet tyres. So going for the suggested full wet tyres as we try and keep an eye on the gap. All coming down. Here's Scotty. Scott on the inside of James. Scott looking about and James weaving into him there as Scott does get through on the red and blue car. The red and grey car, sorry. Ford dropping behind AJ once more. Something happened as AJ tries to pass Big Mike now. Gap at the top, obviously no DRS to help. AJ's going to chuck it inside there. No, he doesn't do the move. As you see, Chubb is really trying his hardest to stay on track. Really, really struggling is Chubb. And here's champion leader Saturn. They're going at the inside of Asif now. And the 83 car is going to try and get past the 14. Very close together. Look at the lack of power input there. As Saturn gets his nose almost chopped off there by Saturn. And Ford and AJ going absolutely crackers, these two, as they try and battle their way through. Where's AJ in all of this? He's right behind them. AJ bending into pit lane. It's just time for full wet tyres. AJ going to try and get the jump on it. How's Zeron doing? He's struggling a bit as he tries to power up. That might be down to setup. AJ into pit lane. I don't think we'll see AJ pitting. I'm set to 3 yellow flags are waving. I can't see where the yellow flag is. It's a stopped car. It's Booker. No, that's not set to 3. That's Carl back on track. A little bit dangerously though. That's twice Carl has done that in today's session. As Saturn tries to pass Asif. Saturn to the inside line now. As he does get through. And you'll see it from Scotty. But Saturn made a mistake as he goes off track, and Asif just go and say, I'll take that position back. Thank you very much. Drivers heading back into pit lane, Zeron and Carl. And currently the gap at the top between JR and Legend is 9 tenths of a second. Closest battle on track is Wilson and Ezra. Esri. Drivers all pitting. I think Zeron heading back to it. So AJ, he pitted for damage by the looks of it. So here's Mike on the back of your blue. Trying to get through. Lots of lag in the session. Unfortunately, we can only apologise for lag as we keep our harness, keep our eyes planted on Wilson as he tries to get through. So I can't speak. The lag is affecting my speech apparently. Thatcher, who's within a shout of a podium now. Ford leaving the session, he's lagged out, so the server issue is not getting better. Mike's trying to get through on Ezra, as we see Fletcher trying to get onto the podium for the first time in RPR history. The debutant is close, and he gets his nose cut off a little bit by Alex. Alex is not going to let him have this podium easily. Alex running him right up towards the curb, and Fletcher will say, no, you're blocking me, that's not fair. But I think Ford will hopefully get back into the session soon and we can get back to racing as they get close together. Fletch getting a little bit of a nudge there from the 15 and the 24 car as Ford rejoins us. Is not happy. Ezra dropping behind Mike as cars all over the place in these wet conditions, really struggling in the intermediate tyres, but it needs to be said Fletcher is running a car all the same colours, including the tyres. What can he do as they dip a wheel onto the AstroTurf? That's still fine. They try not to lose it. The gap at the top is 1.1 seconds between JR and Legend. Alex is under pressure for his podium spot right now. And the more they battle, as Alex makes a mistake, and Fletch trying to go around the outside, he doesn't cut him off. He's up on the skid plane. He is through though. Sector 3, yellow flags are waving. That's Mike in trouble. And that is Fletcher up on the podium position. Alex will be kicking himself, saying, "That was my fault. Damn it, that's not fair." And they're coming up towards the lap car as Jana loses the position once more to Saturn. And Legend, they're going to have blue flags for Carl, who's really struggling in this wet conditions race. Blue flags waving for Carl. That's one light board we've seen. You get 3 light boards and you've got to get out of the way. There's 2 and he gets out of the way now, but he's really impacted on Legend's run there. Ford saying he's been kicked out but he can't rejoin into his car. He should be. Hopefully he's listening to the stream, because if you go to this menu here, go to your name and then hit take over, you should be able to reconnect into your car. No, he's back into his car now, so he's all comfortable in Love and War as he is ahead of AJ currently. Closest battle on track is all Sector 3 lighting up once more. I'm not sure where it is because my board isn't showing me. Well, just turn it off and turn it back on again. There we go. So we now have the full lights. I got kicked out saying Ford, so you're not able to rejoin into your car at all. The Ford is jumping in saying he's got kicked out. Fletcher, the fastest man on track currently, is AJ passes Ford. So it still says that you're driving here. Saturn with a time penalty now. The championship leader with more time penalties now. Won't let him. Unfortunately, so that is Ford out of the race now after such a good qualifying session. Sector 3 lighting up with yellow flags. I think that's Booker. Yeah, Booker's in a bit of trouble now as he gets out of the way of the drivers. Really struggling in this race with Booker. For the gap at the top coming down to 7 tenths of a second. Here's Mike, who's right on the back. Once more the blue car, who's snaking across the track because he cannot control it. He is really in front. As the British driver all geared up for the wet weather, as we all know. Carl with a time penalty for ignoring blue flags. That's 101 when it comes to racing. And there's contact almost between Mike and Wilson and Ezra. I can't speak today. But Ezra getting the power on as Mike's going to have to bail out of the position there. Let's find out what's happening with Carl as he's starting to cause a little bit of a nuisance of himself right now, by the looks of it. With a 5-second penalty for ignoring blue flags, he's right on the back of trying to. He's going to have to, if he wants to overtake these guys, he looks quick. If he wants to overtake them, he's going to have to do it and stay able to get ahead, stay there. But yeah, if he keeps being lapped, then what's the point? There's Ezra passed again by Wilson, as you see Saturn now close to the back of Alex, who seems to just be going backwards there. It's on the brake, Saturn made a mistake! And that brake there a braking point turned into an overtaking move, which then turned into Alex redefending the move. Oh, that almost ended after tears there. The championship leader, what can Nathan do? He's up the inside. It's going to turn to the outside line. Ford rejoining us. As there's contact there between Saturn and Alex, and Saturn just getting his side forward hit there, and Alex getting out of the way, unfortunately. So drivers all starting to push on. Where's Carl in all of this? So he's in his big gaggle of cars. He's on his own though. So he seems to be okay. Trying to get a gauge on where everyone is out of lap 10 out of 34, and these wet conditions really not helping some of these drivers as they're from the gap a lot more than they were normally and last week. So Chubb back in this train now, getting close to the back of James. He wants to get through. Chubb with his new light up rig, helping him a little bit in the wet. Well, I wonder if he's feeling a bit seasick. Alex with a time penalty for multiple warnings, which would be cutting corners. And Carl's really not helped Chubb out there. That's really not helped him out at all. I'm gonna try and stay my tongue. There might be some silly words being said. Esray with a time penalty now as he drops further back almost into the clutches of AJ as they battle. Yellow flags are waving in sector 2. No drivers dropping down the field, so it must be Booker. I think he's being lapped. Booker's right in the mix right now of the drivers, unfortunately. It might be Zeron as well. Zeron was the one to slow down and cause the yellow flag. Obviously, 2 drivers out of this race. Ford and Stokes will not be playing any further part. Yellow flags are waving. Carl is going to pass Booker there, as Booker had to slow down for the yellow flags. For the blue flag, sorry. And Carl chucked it at the inside there, like there was no real care as he's driving the car as if it's in the drive. He's going off the track, back around, he's going to be in trouble now. He's got to be careful about how he rejoins. He's done it twice now where I've deemed it a little bit dangerous. As Satin goes fastest in P4, he's looking to take the win tonight. I think all these drivers are really just trying to survive until it maybe dries out a little bit or until we get the new tyres. As if with a time penalty now as we look at Carl battling with Booker. Into turn 1. Carl going wide. Ford also leading the session once more because he can't rejoin his car. Getting closer to, I believe that's Satin as well, coming up behind them. Yeah, it looks to be Satin. So championship leader is going to want to get out of the way. Booker's in trouble. Yellow flags in sector 3. I completely lost track of who's winning where. And on track as they get right up there. Carl and Booker are racing each other as hard as they can. And Booker getting out of the way with blue flags. So Booker, unfortunately, doing the best he can do. There's AJ. There was Mike actually getting past him. But Carl is well in the way of these drivers right now. He's right in the middle of the track and he needs to get out of the way. That's spin 3. Half the plant in line. Nothing there. Half the planet is online, yeah. You might as well be like that. Booker Bronco is struggling in this race, and that's understandable. These conditions are very wet. Mike's in trouble, and Carl, he doesn't have 2 clues about what he's doing out there right now. I'm trying to stay how I'm talking about people right now, but the way he's driving is not very mature. He's chucking it around like it's a rallycross race, and he's driving as if he's staying in the middle of the track with when blue flags are waving. I get you're quick, but you're not that quick. So AJ's looking to get back into the top 10 after the first lap collision, which caused a safety car. So if we look at AJ, he's trying his hardest to get past Ezra, who's trying his hardest to stay on track. He's really struggling there. The second related issues by the looks of it. And Chubb trying to go around the outside of James. These two are going to make contact once more. He's been pushed in wide a little bit. What is going on? Well, who knows at this point, but lap cars relatively getting in the way, and one particular lap car is not really showing much attraction to the idea of staying out of the way of trouble. As Booker again gets passed by Carl. Carl very slow on exit there. So for 16th place, those two are battling. Have a look at Chubb once more, who's close as you see the helicopter shot and the rain literally whipping and the umbrellas like they're in a dance club and they're back on. Carl is causing anarchy in the chat. I won't disagree with that. But James trying the Scotsman ahead. I won't say he's used to this weather because at Scotland they normally get snow. But the Scotsman is going to be under pressure from Chubb as yellow flags are waving. I think that might be, it's not Booker. Is it Travolta? No, it's not Travolta. It's another slow car. I'm not sure who it is. The AJ close to Wilson. I've completely lost track of where everyone is on track at this point. Chubb now going to try around the outside once more on James. James doing a good job to defend. No, he's going to send to the inside line for Chubb. Chubb is going to do his best job at getting through. What can James do? James on the brakes. Who's braver? It's currently Chubb. Can James get up and underneath the RPR car? But he does not, unfortunately. And the car is going to be slow. Ford rejoining us once more. He's still in 13th, so well done to Ford, even though he's not racing. Massive, close to the back of Legend. So latest, what can he do? DRS open. Legend with time penalties. You could go down to time penalties on this race. Who knows? Ford has been passed by Travolta now. So Travolta lagging back. Is Ford in control of this car, do we think? No, not the way he was braking there. The gaps are growing. The gap at the top currently 4 tenths of a second. We're going to jump back up there and have a look at that. As Legend on penalties, I think it's currently below, currently giving the race over to JR. Fletcher is currently in P3. Remember, lots of penalties in this race after the safety car. That's 15 out of 34. Legends running off track there, currently in P1 ahead of JR, who's in P2. Fletcher is in P3, ahead of Saturn, who's in P4. Alex is in P5, Asif is in P6, P7 is Scotty, and P8 is Chubb. P9 is James, P10 is Wilson. P11 currently fighting for P10 is AJ. Ezra is in P12 ahead of John Travolta, who's in P13. Ford, who is not racing, is in P14. Zeron is in P15. Carl is in P16, Booker is in P17, and out of the race is Johnny in P18, unfortunately unable to continue on in this race. Yellow flag in sector 3, I believe that might have been one of our lap cars getting out of the way. No, it wasn't. So someone made a mistake. Gaps everywhere, shrinking, but remember, no DRS to help them get through. The race is struggling, big catch from AJ. Well done, AJ, to the P. The 94 car saying, no, not losing the rear end now, as the Viper car powering through, stay behind. Wilson, no, this time round. 3 tenths is the gap, they're close to one another. The AJ trying to line up with the pink and the gold helmet. What can he do this time round? Is going to be, there's no DRS. The Asif and Scotty are battling hard. So Scotty is trying to snake his way back onto the race line. 12 versus 14. Who's going to win? It's currently 14. He's ran out wide. Wilson's in trouble. Wilson, sorry, sector 1 yellow flag to someone else. Wilson been passed by AJ. Someone else off the track further round. I'm not sure who that is. See if we can get a shot of him. I think Travolta has been spun round somewhere. And he's going slow in sector 3, or the mini sector 4 as I call it. So drivers really struggling here on lap 17 out of 34. I've completely lost track of who's where on the map. That's utterly useless right now. So currently Legend leads from JR. And the championship leader, whereas he's Saturn, he's currently in P4. Scott with a time penalty, getting close to Asif. Time penalties are really going to be a big factor in this race now. Drivers way off track right now. There was in fact Booker and Carl, I think it was. Those two way off track. The gap behind them, which are new cars coming. There's P1, so they're either coming around to put another lap on these two. He's looking to get through, and there's P3 of Fletcher. He's getting ready to join the party as well. So all of these drivers are looking very entertaining right now, but it's whether they can keep fighting very cleanly. The rain seems to be increasing. Booker's off the track right now. Poor Booker, really struggling, fading off the track to get out of the way as Carl heads into pit lane once more. Booker continues on. So Booker will not be last now. The gap is currently 5 tenths of a second. Is this JR's best chance of getting past Legend? Sector 3, yellow flags are waving. Someone has a span, more drivers in the pit lane. I think their tyres starting to wear out. 17 laps in the car. Saturn has gone for wet. Have they been called in for wet tyres now? That could be a big shout. Somebody's driving going on the wet. It might have been a mistake there for Saturn. He may have just thrown away a good championship haul today. Who knows? Still looking at the gap though. JR is close to the back of Legends. What can he do? That's the 44 numbered name is going to be put under pressure, and more the orange and white car versus the grey and red car. The junior team versus the senior team here. It's like if Toro Rosso and Red Bull went at it. Assis close to wet weather clad Saturn. Who's looking at this car is much wetter down here, isn't it? Blue flags are waving for someone. I think Saturn might have the right idea because he looks to be much more grippy and controlled on these tyres right now. But Janus pushing hard, takes 2 yellow flags are waving. That's the driver getting out the way. It looks to be, is it Carl? Carl getting out the way. No, John Travolta has retired for the second. Is that another safety car? We look trying to find out where he's retired. John Travolta leaving the session. He's crashed the car. Or he's pulled off somewhere. Oh, and Booker losing it into the wall. That's unfortunate to see. Gotta wait and see. So we have a couple of drivers. Lots more people heading into pit lane now. Saturn will be our race leader. On the full wet tyres though, he will become our race leader apart from... No, I do apologise, completely using track off who's where. It looked like these drivers were in pit lane further up. Take on for the team, says John. Trying to get Chubb up there, Chubb into pit lane now. What can he do? As Saturn is 8 seconds off the podium right now. As the podium battle now comes under a 2-second guise. It's been a rather confusing race for me because I'm trying to keep track of who's being lapped where. Zeron's out of the race, unfortunate to say, but he has crashed. Or he has bailed out the race here in sector 2. It looks like a crash, to be honest. No safety car, but yellow flags in all sectors right now. There's a car stuck in pit lane. As has just been redeployed. There might be John's car, actually. Oh, James in trouble. And there's Alex going round the outside of James, who lost the rear end. The yellow flags all round the place. He's lost a few drivers right now. Where's Carl in all of this? He's currently in P15. He's going to be in P14. Sorry, he's going to be classified P13, down to John not being in the race. Here's AJ. Close to the back of James. James made a mistake further on in that lap. Remember, AJ hasn't stopped yet, neither has James. I think these guys might head into pit lane soon. So, the flexing front wing of AJ, 20 laps in, obviously AJ had a lap 1 collision which caused the safety car, and there you see James heading into pit lane, same as AJ now, becomes the battle in the pits. Which team is quicker? Look at how close AJ's got to the back of James. He doesn't mind what speed he goes at. No pit lane penalties at all at the moment. Here's Fletcher. Fletcher on the brakes, so much more confident in these conditions. But remember, it's just one thing to catch the car in front, then it's another thing to just overtake them. And that's the problem that JR's had all this time. He's not been able to overtake the Legends at all. And Saturn's gamble for the wet tyres, it looks like we're just sat on the edge of intermediate to wet conditions, and we have been now for a while. So with 15 laps to go, let's have a look at the full grid. Legends in P1 ahead of Lattice in P2. P3 is P3 is Fletcher ahead of Saturn in P4. Alex is in P5 ahead of Scotty in P6. Jana is in P7. Chubb is in P8. AJ is in P9. And Mike is in P10. Outside of the points, James in P11 ahead of Ezra in P12. Ford in P13 ahead of Carl in P14. Obviously, drivers will all be altered due to penalties in the game, and Fletcher has just gone faster still as the time starts to run down. Booker Bronco leaving the session after unfortunately being up in the race, and that's sad to see from Booker. Lots of lag in the lobby right now as he's Saturn pitting. I think the stint on the wet tyres didn't work out. Lattice putting on pressure on Legend. Legend is going to try and cover the inside line. Can JR get round the outside? No, Jack can't get round. And Fletcher is getting there. He's going to come to play as well. This could mean that anything can happen between these three. They have to be sure because one slip up, one little moment of braking too late and causing a collision between 3 of these guys could be monumental towards the championship here in Hockenheim. No DRS in these wet conditions as you keep an eye on Legend, who's trying to stay ahead of these two incredibly quick drivers, number 25 and number 24, Fletcher and Lattice. Sorry, JR. I'm going to go with JR. I need to get my head right. Get in my head and call it JR. Yeah, Saturn making a big mistake with the wet tyres, hoping it would get wetter. Maybe it did get wetter for just a moment, but it didn't get wet enough. He is currently, the championship leader currently in P7, is on intermediates once more. He had to pit out of sequence. The JR just putting pressure on. That car is sounding awful with the Mechachrome engine in the back. DRS not active in these wet conditions as the battle for P1 is going absolutely swimmingly in these wet conditions. Now JR pulls the inside line. He's got to run a Legend. Legend is going to try and cover the inside line. And JR's going to try and hold it. He's got to filter him out a little bit towards the curb. JR, this car gets another time penalty. JR is through. Now into the right hand. The heel will be favoured now. He cuts the corner a little bit. No, but Legend stays on the outside line. And Legend says, no, I'm still in P1. And there's Fletcher. Fletcher's considering he's been shafted out onto the grass. And Fletcher really is going to be frustrated there. The Yak Marina clap helmet is close to the back of JR. And Legend really planting pressure on these drivers. He wants to get through. JR saw a gap. The driver goes off track further at the hairpin. Reports of the rain will not let up here as on lap 22 out of 34. The timer is going mental here. Legend is further ahead of JR this time round. I think JR's going to have to spend another lap looking behind him rather than in front of him. He wants to get through though as the black and the green car of Fletcher is closing in closer and closer to the back of JR. He wants this P1 as Fletcher in his first time out. Missed out on pole position due to wet qualifying. Saturn though getting close to the back of Asif, keeping an eye on all the battles on track. Fletcher considering a dive bomb there, choosing not to though. I wouldn't have gone for a dive bomb there, that's way too bad. They're way too far back. Even Danny Rick wouldn't have made that one. Legend making another potential mistake there as he goes deep, and JR sensing that the car is struggling in front. They're all on fresh tyres out here. Obviously point stop with Big Mike. Saturn passing Asif, and Asif trying to defend to the inside. Who's better on the brakes as Ezra gets another time penalty. And Saturn is not as good on the brakes, but on the switchback, can he get the power down on the wetter portion of the track? He can, he's through, but no, not yet. Asif really pushing on the inside line. They're not going to make contact because Asif and Saturn know how to race. But look at the aggression there between these two drivers. Let's drop back up to the battle for the podium though. All three podium sitters separated by just about a second. And lock up there for Fletcher as he tries to get closer to the back of JR. What can these drivers do in such a concentrated position of power? And JR is looking behind him and it's costing him time. Looking at the front sector, 3 yellow flags. There's a spinner by the looks of it. Double lock up there for Fletcher as he struggles to get the car back round. Saturn with another time penalty. Defeat JR going a little bit to the inside line there. Not sure what that was for. And inside line comes Fletcher. That is not an overtaking move. That would have been a kamikaze-esque move. But he managed to capture the car again. All very comfortable at the top. And JR with a nice time penalty to add to his time. This is starting to get very worrying with time penalties today. So 11 laps to go, going to become 10 laps to go in just a moment's time. And the gap is 1.5 seconds at the top from F1 Legend gapping ahead of Lattice in P2. Vector's in P3 ahead of Alex in P4. Scott is in P5. Saturn is in P6. ahead of Asif in P7. And Fletcher with a time penalty as well. Chris there still showing his undying support for Booker Bronco. I think it's anyone's game in the wet conditions, and there was just a mistake at T1 which caused it all to go wrong and caused the safety car to come out. But who knows what will happen next week. I believe we're off to Hungary, as there is a yellow flag further back. Not sure who that is, I can't tell with the gap. So Chubb currently looking to do good for the RPR team. And Fletcher wanting to get up on the podium. No, he's on the podium, wanting to get higher up on the podium. Zeron leaving the session. Obviously he'll be upset after 2 weeks on the track, on the trot of bad races. Booker Bronco complaining of his Discord, and I think he's well within his rights. There's nothing you can do. Just pack up, come back again next week. I believe we're at Hungary and see what can happen. F1 Legend going faster now as he tries to dial in the car. F1 Legend with a time penalty now. More penalties handing out. These guys are really going for it now. As it comes down to it, under a second is the gap between 1 and 2. Under 5 attempts is now the gap between 2 and 3. And the faster Jay Fletcher goes is the faster we have a look. If you're going to try it into the hairpin, as time starts to tick. Let's try and learn to speak, JB. He does try the inside, and JR having to get out of the way. JR though powering back up, saying, okay, that was a bit late. And Fletcher, knowing that he's going to now sit behind him once more. JR knew that was coming. He's like, I've seen that a million times before. Sector 3, yellow flags are waving once more. Slow drivers going slower. Might have been, I think it was behind Carl, so it wasn't Carl this time. Chubb putting pressure on Asif. He wants to get higher up. Maybe a top 5 is in the positioning, maybe even a top 6. Maybe potentially a top 6 though for Chubb today. He's just going to control the car in his new rig, which he likes to show off. Sector 3, yellow flags waving once more. Who is that yellow flag? I'm trying to work out who that flag is, so it's starting to really annoy me. But Fletcher, closer than ever, as he wants P2. He was about this gap at the end of it last race, when he tried the inside line this time round. Is he going to chuck it there? He's getting closer. He does chuck it for a long way back now. And yeah, he does make contact with JR. JR's going to complain that he had to alter his line there as Fletcher goes defensive. What can JR do? 25 versus 24. And Fletcher is going to feed him out wide, but look at that. JR just swooping around the outside. If you turn to the inside line, there's more contact there as Fletcher starts to get more and more frustrated. We're looking at the back of the Luke car, and he's, yeah, okay. Okay, you have power there, maybe time to calm down a little bit. Here's Chubb getting closer to Asif. Is Asif going to put much pressure? As Chubb to the inside line now on the 14 car. The 14 car is going to have to concede again. Contact there, front wing to rear tyre. Then a little bit of an oversteer for Chubb as he loses the rear end. Ezra with another time penalty now as Fletcher closer than ever on JR. These two battling have allowed Legend to get away. He's going to come to some lapped cars though in a few moments time. We'll be able to find out who's causing all those yellow flags in a minute. It's quite subdued drama, unlike Silverstone, which was utter moronic chaos, but it was all fun and war at Silverstone. But now it's sort of subdued and quite sensible. We see Fletcher, the gaps all coming down. Fletcher's starting to get a little bit more impatient, so I think he wants to go faster, but with the car limiting him due to the wet, he can't go as fast as he'd like here in Hockenheim. There's Carl. Is Carl going to play ball with the blue flags this time? Was warned earlier, and he does get well out of the way this time. That's the podium all through on cars. They now come up to Ford's car. The gaps all around the race is really coming down apart from this one here. So Fletcher consistently under 5 tenths away from Lattis, and Lattis in really trouble. He just really is struggling on the grip, but he's doing a good job with JR to stay ahead of the flying Fletcher, who's really pounding on the pressure on the rear end. Is he going to try out the inside here? He's looking, but the 24 cannot get through. The 25 is just being much more controlled, much more showing much more how to drive. But straight line speed now. Fletcher trying to go to the inside line. Look at that. JR's running him right up to the curve, and he cannot get through. That's the inside line. Comes Fletcher. Fletcher's going to have to try around the outside. Is it going to work? It does not work as JR just goes, no, not happening. Saturn now close to Scott. Scott, who's got Alex in front of him, so battles are starting to form in the latter stages of this race here at Hockenheim. The championship leader is not done, and he wants to play right now. He's going to get up the inside now on Scott. Scott cannot defend from the charging 83, number 12. Having to bail out of the way, but they're going to try and hold it around the outside. Can he hold it around the outside? He's got the power, and he's going to get the overlap into the next right-hander. It's going to be a battle of wits, and who's braver? It is, oh goodness me, they're both as brave as one another. But it seems that Scotty is just having a better run right now due to him being on the inside. He's caused Saturn to hit the wet, and the wet weather has just caused Saturn to hit the puddles and send him into the side of him. Fletcher with a time penalty for multiple warnings. Oh, and he's hit him! He's hit JR! But he's lucky that he didn't overtake him there. He hit the brakes, and I think he shifted down a few times to let JR stay ahead. And he did just pile drive straight into him. And Fletcher is really putting pressure on, and I don't think JR is enjoying this attack whatsoever. This is a battle that I think is putting a lot of sweat into JR's eyes. And JR just cannot defend. Well, he can defend, but he cannot get the power down without getting a little bump draft from Fletcher. The green and white is car against the time penalty. Green and black versus grey and red. You could say the red car and blue car of the race, but it's back to green rather than blue. And, you know, that's not totally red. That's Alex, with his teammate JR. Anything can happen as we're heading towards the 4 laps to go marker. And it does. It's going to tick over soon. 6 seconds with the gap at the top of the field. Legend doing very well right now. 23 yellow flags are waving. So Legend doing well ahead of Lattis. Or Lattis, sorry. And he's doing, I'd say he's doing well at defending from Fletcher. He's doing a standout job. And Scott and Saturn, this battle resuming as blue flags are waving on Ford's car. It's Ford now in the way of the championship leader and the charging group, and they're having to slow down behind the disconnected car. 4 laps to go here as you see Scott just slipping through. He's lost the rear end a little bit. Saturn, can he try and turn one? This isn't really an overtaking spot. He does lift off. And you see the charging Saturn. Can we get past Scotty and say, you're going to become one of my moons? I have many moods. And there, Scotty going way too deep, powering up, focusing on the car behind rather than the track in front. And Scotty has been past the top 5 position now for Saturn. Saturn now will go chasing after that guy Alex, who has a 30-second gap to the top 3. What is going on with that yellow flag at the back? It's not Carl, so I'm not sure who has been lapped further up. Fletcher has dropped way back now, so maybe that's an indication that he knows that the car in front has got penalty and he'll be through, he'll pass him. Yellow flags waving once more. It's not any of these drivers. We will find out who it is as we come up now on board with Alex, who's about to doing close to lap that driver, but that's an awful sounding engine there for the number 15 car. He's being chased by Saturn. Saturn's done a great job to carve that time down during this time. Just past one driver. DRS obviously not in effect due to it being a wet race. And 3 laps on the clock as the time starts to run out here in this race. 8 seconds is the gap at the top. Or 7.6 seconds, sorry, is the gap at the top. Let's see Alex under pressure from Saturn. The championship leader looking for a top 4 position. That top 4 finish, that's the best you can do in this race, I think, today. Unless something major happens with one of the top 3. Alex is going to pile on the pressure. He's, well, a little bit of a late move there, and Saturn will complain. And then he blocks him into the hairpin. And 83 is going to be really wound up with that particular move. But I think it's all fair in love and war. You see Alex trying to go around the outside. Saturn, oh, they're close together. What can Nathan do? Nathan is through, but Alex is going to make contact with him. And oh, dearest me, that is... I'd say that Alex should hand back the position and Saturn's round. Is he going to hit? He's trying to get a car restarted, trying to get it spam back around, and Saturn will say, well, he shouldn't let me back through because he just hit me off. But as Chubb now gets up into P6, but Alex will say, no, I was ahead. So I think now we'll go to the stewards there, and Saturn potentially should have bailed out the move as we go on to the penultimate lap of the race. F1 legend is well on towards winning this race. 7 seconds is the gap. Fletcher's lost a lot of time in this last stint. He's wildly far behind, 5.5 seconds. But obviously penalties can affect anyone in the grid, even this man here, the championship leader of Saturn, who's just been involved in such a colossal incident there as he looks to pass Chubb, the RPR car in front. He's going to be really a sitting duck, I think. I think Chubb's not had the pace of Chubb. Chubb's not had the pace of Saturn. Saturn to the inside line. I think the Eve race winner last week in Silverstone as the Sunrise car putting pressure on him, but Chubb is through, still ahead, and contact as he tries to start to get a little bit more punchy. Final lap of the race here as Sector 2's yellow flags are waving. And we flashed out the stewards, yeah, they will be flashing out the stewards today. And Legend, he's doing a good job. About the man who started in pole position as the server is riddled with lag. Ezra with more time penalties. Unfortunately, going to be really affecting his lap time, his position count there. 53 yellow flags are waving. His further back is Carl in even more trouble as he's losing positions. He's currently 14th out of 14. So here into sector 3 for the final time is Legend. Legend is coming up behind James to lap P11, and he is looking very comfortable with the number 2 car. It's not Stoffel Van Dorn, but it is in fact F1 Legend, and he's coming to strike the iron while it's hot as Carl gets a time penalty for multiple warnings. I'd say strike the iron while it's hot, but no, it was Carl retires at turn 1, so I think that was he's had enough to retire himself. 12 cars will finish the race, but F1 Legend, he's going to strike the hammer while it's wet, I think is the word we're going to use. But F1 Legend, he's going to come around, he's going to win the race here at Hockenheim. Well done to Legend as he wins. Saturn and Chubb, though, still battling forwards on this final lap now. Carl leaving the session as you see Chubb trying to hold it around the inside of Saturn. We've seen this before with Saturn, with Alex, but this time Saturn gets through. And Chubb, I think, will have to deal with a P7 finish today unless there's a mistake. A couple of drivers also finishing the top 10, all still relatively racing. We'll go through the rest of the positions in a minute. But well done to Jay Fletcher for getting onto the podium on his first race. We saw him with the pace in qualifying and practice, but the first race for Rapid Pixel Racing, he's done really well to get up there and sit in P3. All props go to him. Saturn Championship leader is going to take a little bit of a pay cut with the points today, finishing in P6. No, he'll finish in P8 due to penalties. Oh! So even more of a pay cut, 8 into P in P9, and Big Wilson will finish in P10 due to maybe not with penalties, but he will be getting a point tonight, Will Wilson. But it's this man, F1 legend, that wins the race here in Hockenheim. A rather wet race, a rather subdued race from all. But well done to him from pole position. Lots of support. Oh, not really again, silly. So, here are your positions, barring any stewards' investigations. Legend will finish in P1, Head of Lattice in P2. Fletcher will finish in P3, though he's complaining in the Discord right now. P4 is that guy Alex, P5 is Scotty, P6 is Chubb, P7 is Asad, and P8 is Saturn, Championship leader taking a massive pay cut today. Ages of P, well done to get back up to P9 ahead of Wilson, who's in P10. Outside of the points, unfortunately today, was James in P11, ahead of Ezra in P12. The drivers who did not finish this race, Ford, Carl, Zeron, Travolta, Booker, and Johnny, who didn't make it past lap 1. Unfortunately, those drivers didn't make it through, but it was fun. Nonetheless, though, off to Hockenheim next week, I believe we're going to be heading to. So let's look forward to see all those drivers head over to the Hockenheim race, where we could see a nice dry race. My name is JB. Thank you so much for watching Rapid Pixel Racing this week. It has been a phenomenal couple of hours on track, but it's time to get some rest. Make sure you stay safe and stay healthy in this current trying time of the planet, and hopefully we'll see you all again soon for the next race and the third live commentary stream of Rapid Pixel Racing Season 2. Have a very good night, and we'll see you again soon. Ta-ra, guys!